What's going on, guys? It's Renegade here again, and this time, I had a request to show you how the randomizer works. So I'm gonna go over a few things, and now obviously you want to go to Open, go to wherever you have your game files, and just select a game file. Basically on the Pokemon traits, I leave all this alone except for, the evolutions down here, because doing that makes it easier, especially when you're playing an old game. Um, So, the impossible evos like the trade evolutions. And then for easier evolutions, um, it just makes the final. I'm pretty sure it goes final. The final evolution earlier. As for starter Pokemon, you can make your um, do whichever you want. Like, say if you want to do a solo run, just do custom, and then you pick the Pokemon that you want, and then you go from there. Or you can do a completely random, which obviously it'll make them 3 random Pokemon, or you can do random basic Pokemon with 2 evolutions. I usually go with random completely. For static Pokemon, I always go with a legendary to legendary and normal to normal. That way you don't end up getting a legendary that's just like a normal type, because then it just kind of ruins it if you have a lot of legendaries that you can encounter in your game. Trades, usually I do both requested and given, just to see, most of the time you don't end up getting the Pokemon when you're doing a Nuzlocke, so randomize the nickname if you want, do original trainer, Ivy's, random item that it held. Movesets, I leave this completely alone. I never touch it unless I'm going to do like a really randomized, which I may or may not in the future. Trainer Pokemon, random or type themed, if you want. I don't usually do carry starter, because then you always know at least he's gonna have one Pokemon. I always go for the no early Wonder Guard, just in case you don't get a Pokemon that can get through that Wonder Guard. It's just always nice. Just for randomness, or randomize the names and trainer classes. And now, if you want to make the game a little bit harder, this is where you do it. You can force fully evolved Pokemon. Say like, you're getting towards the end of the game, you have Pokemon that are chilling there, and you go into a battle and you end up with somebody that's using a Caterpie. If you do this, it will make sure that it is always at the final evolution at whatever level you put it at. Usually I put mine at 40. And then if you want to make the this right here will make all the trainer Pokemon that you battle, make them stronger by a certain percentage. Normally I do 10. It adds an extra 10%. So you go to you go into a battle and the trainer has a level 10. Instead of level 10, it's going to be a level 11. And then as you go through, it's scaled higher and higher. There's a lot of people, they'll set theirs at 15 or 20. I just do 10, just so it's like, a good median. Wild Pokemon, you want to do random. And then I usually do, for additional rule, I usually do none or catch them all, just so you get a little bit more diversity. And then you can randomize the held item. And I always do ban bad items, just to get, like those less useful items out of the loot pool. TMs, HMs, usually do random, and that's the only thing I do there. Same with Move Tutor, just random. I don't mess with anything else in here. Field items, randomize, so that way you get a lot of different diversity. Just do ban bad items again. And then under miscellaneous tweaks, for each game, whichever game you're doing, there's going to have different options. I'll show you an example of it here in a minute. With black and white and black 2 and white 2, there's hidden grottos. And you can randomize those with this, because those aren't technically a static Pokemon. It's its own separate spot. You can ban Lucky Egg if you're doing like a versus with somebody. And then, which usually you send a copy of the same exact settings to that person, or you do it with them, you know, just so make sure everything's good. So you see, like I said, in this one, this is a Black 2 ROM. Miscellaneous tweaks has 3 options, but if I go into, let's go to Emerald that I just did not that long ago. You want to hear it has a lot more, because you can start with a national dex, lowercase names. You can run indoors, because I think it was prior to Generation 5, you couldn't run indoors. And, you know, randomized catching tutorial, stuff like that. So, you know, that's pretty much all it is. It's not that hard to do. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.